Nice to see you, buddy. How are you, buddy?
How was that flight, man?
Oh, man. Wish I could have slept. Oh, gosh. No. I mean, if I had 12 hours, I could work up something. Just getting situated, it takes a while.
What does it take to get situated?
Well, first of all, you have to have so the seat in front of you is not on your lap.
Yeah.
That helps. And I like to go flat. If I can go flat on a plane, flat.
Really?
That helps, yeah.
Wow, they let you do that, huh?
No, I'm very, I mean, sometimes if you get an international plane, sometimes like L.A., Miami,
Right.
or a friend's plane, their own plane, you can go flat, but I don't count on sleeping on planes.
Wow. What is it like to be the most recognized regular guy?
Are we
this
on the
planet?
air?
We are.
Oh, my gosh, I had no idea.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, my gosh. No, it's great. I just thought we were chatting. Man, you're animated for a little small talk, brother. No.
You are the most honest to God real guy. And when I sit there and watch TV like last night, the Hollywood Game Show, you are the guy that every one of us are. Your reactions, you went up there and when you were picking out the pictures.
Right.
And you didn't get it right, but I went, that would be me.
Yeah.
I mean, you were like going, what the hell did I do wrong?
Right. Right. And people are yelling at you. You're sweating. I am. Not you. But no, I mean, that's just, it's just easier. I don't have a choice, really. If I could be George Clooney, I probably would have been George Clooney. But I'm, you have to, this is what I got, and I try to do the best with what I got.
Wow. You seem to be the kind of guy that you look at, someone says, all right, we're going to do something different. I'm there. Is that you?
I do like to do that. I like it in, I do a wide variety of film stuff. This week I finished a Christmas movie, and next week I'm doing this movie in New Orleans called Student Bodies, which you can imagine what that's about. And then I have this really serious drama coming out this fall. And it's, I like to, first of all, I like to work, and I had Camp Fred on Nickelodeon last summer, which was, I don't know if you've ever seen Fred, just a real variety of some good, some terrible. But I just like to try different things. And the Hollywood Game Night, that was fun. And, on the night before I was on Hot in Cleveland with the Betty White show.
That's right.
And that's fun. I like those women, and you do different things, and we'll see what happens.
But you were with Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, I was. She's
What is that like?
She's a very nice lady.
Really?
All four of those ladies are nice ladies. They have a good really good cast. They have a cast that in the days when I started, each one of them would have had their own show. But now, because of the way television is, they team people up and such. So, Wendy Malick is amazing, and Perry Gilpin is amazing. Betty White's so sharp.
Would you marry her?
Betty White?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think I did once. I not even, she's a real deal, because you go into a show and she's 92 and you say, well, is she going to be able to handle this? Are they, because we had on the Roseanne show, Roseanne's grandmother was Shelley Winters. And this is in the twilight of her career. And she was so crazy. She was way younger than Betty White. But we'd have to sort of wheel her in, like literally, and it'd set her up and then work to say her line and kind of cover just her. And it was tough in front of an audience. But Betty White is super sharp. And she's even on another set, and we're doing our lines and we're messing around, and you'll hear her add something totally inappropriate to what we're doing. And so she's a real deal. She is. She's a very nice lady. And, she does all that animal stuff, and it's totally sincere. Like, these people bring dogs to the show, and, like, she's up there crying with them, et cetera. So she means it. I don't know that everybody always means it when they do stuff, but she definitely means it.
But you seem to be the type of personality, too, that I would bank on you saying some wild stuff.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Mike over here. Here's what it is. I've been doing this for 30 years. I started as a comedian 30 years ago and doing the acting stuff and whatever. Also this week I worked on a show called First Family that's on BET Centric or something like that or whatever. And that's a different audience too, But I feel like when I go in there, not that everybody has to listen to my ideas, but I always come in to hopefully make things a little better because, of my experience and as a producer, as a writer, as whatever. Not that I want to break up the magic they have, but I feel I owe that to them to at least say, I just want to throw something out to you. And, I don't go, when we're rehearsing, I do maybe say some inappropriate things, but that's also to build up your performance. So, you're trying to get in this character, and you're feeling things out with the people, and if it's too stiff, if someone writes a script that says you got to do it every word for word that I just wrote, that's hard, because that means you don't trust these people, these performers that you have working for you to help you. So, I don't think I'm trouble. But I do, I do give ideas, and they don't have to take them.
I was excited, and I don't know if you want to travel here, but when they said that you were going to take over the Roseanne Barr show, I was excited because I knew it was going to be daring, I knew it was going to be fresh, and it was going to be something different. Because that's the picture I have of you.
Yeah. Well, what was great about when, running that show was, first of all, I made a deal with the other producers. I said, I'm going to bring in 10 guys that I know are funny that maybe haven't written before, and I will teach them to write the 3-act script. But you can't teach funny. You can hire 10 guys from old Hollywood and bring those guys in, but I'm bringing these new guys that are stand-up comics that I've worked with, or in the Midwest or wherever I worked with them, and we're going to train them. We had so many people come through there that was their first job, and it really inspired the show. And we had, people talk about the turnover on the show, but, people came in and out of there, and all these great comics, these people that are now showrunners and big-time people. So I feel really good about that. If you're involved as like the manager of a baseball team, and all his coaches, or a football team and his assistant coaches, they all become head coaches, you feel good about that. Johnny Galecki did a TV movie with Roseanne and I called Backfield in Motion or something, and I really liked him, so we just wrote something for him. And Sarah Gilbert became good friends with him, and Johnny Galecki is amazing. There's so many. The person that created that show, Big Bang, was one of our writers, Chuck Lorre, and then we had to let him go at some point. But that happens. There's a 2-year turnover with head writers to keep the show fresh. He took it very personally, I'm told, and yeah, he needs to keep doing that. I
was just going to ask you about that. You were just want to go, dude, no, stop.
Yeah,
man, you're fine.
Believe me, he needs to stop. But, he's the most powerful guy in Hollywood television. Sitcom-wise, he's got like 8 shows. But that doesn't mean he's not a jerk. And he is. With all the success. Here's the problem with him. This thing happened on Roseanne, and a lot of things happened on the show. And about 10 or 12 years after that, maybe a little longer, he came up to me at my house. I had this bunch of guys over to my house, and he says, I need to make amends to you. And I said, why? And he goes, because I badmouthed you to everybody in this town. Everybody. Every time. And I go, what? Because every time he got a new show or something, this Chuck Lorre, I would write him a note. Hey, congratulations, you got a new show, you whatever. Because I thought, there's no harm. It's not like you fired him in the middle of the season. At the end of the season, I said, we're going to pay you, but we're just going to keep it every couple of years. We bring in new head writers. And he went on to make a ton of, he goes, I've been bad-mouthing you. So I said, wow. And I said, well, I forgive you. I'm glad you said that. I feel like a jerk. I mean, he not just bad-mouthed. He went to the head of Warner Brothers and said, if you work with him, you can't work with me. So that's upsetting. Then about a year later, I see, after he made this amends, I see him at this other thing, and he turns to me and goes, oh, I may have went overboard. I go, what do you mean overboard? He goes, well, we traded writers with CSI. So 2.5 Men writers wrote CSI, CSI wrote us, and the episode of CSI I wrote might offend you, but I hope you have a good sense of humor. And it was about a big TV star and her coked up boyfriend who was murdering her. That's what it was about. And after all this stuff he said, first of all, I got sober before he did. Mm-hmm. And after all this stuff he said, and so I didn't know how to handle this now, because now the guy's sticking his finger in my chest. So I said, I talked to my friends, I talked to Dax Shepard, I go, I just feel like punching him in the throat. I don't think he'll understand anything except that. And violence is bad, but at some point when a man is doing that and keeps doing that, even after, so I was at another place, and he tried to run out of there because he saw me, and I chased him down in the alley, and I said, I just wanted to know something. I have a family. And I have this, I've worked real hard on my career since the last 20 years after the Roseanne stuff. And I feel like you're perpetuating that, and you know better because you were there. So if you do it again, I'm seriously going to punch you in the blanking throat. And I mean it. And he knew I meant it. Because at some point, I don't know how to deal. I don't know how Hollywood works, apparently. But at some point, it's just, Okay, this is what is going to take you to open your eyes.
Right.
We're going to do this.
But before social media, there was you. You worked the trades. You knew how to get word out more than anybody else in this country.
Well, during that marriage, it was, I can't even imagine if there had been social media, but there was a 5-year period where there was so much, and it was fun at first to be able to watch the news and call up the news during the news, and they would put you on the air to correct something. I mean, it was so many weird things because Roseanne was so big, and the fact that we were this odd couple, but I think what happened for 3 years, it was fun, and we got it because we focused on her kids and what went on at home and our work. But we did all this outside craziness too, stirring stuff up. And then it bit us on the butt because that outside stuff suddenly became more important than the inside stuff. And it got so crazy and so many people saying, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, that it just imploded, which is what should have happened. We met when I was 23, 30 years ago in Minneapolis. I was living there as a comic, just started. She was in Denver as a comic. And she came there, and we hit it off right away, and we were really good friends until 1988 when I moved to write on the show. I thought we were still friends, but she told me later she had decided that we were going to be more than friends. And when somebody says they love you, how do you not become more than friends, right? I'm a dumb guy from Iowa. I mean, this is what you do, and it was very good for a while, and it was crazy, but it was very good, and then it got extra crazy, and it just wore. I was exhausted. I just couldn't do it anymore. I'm sure she felt the same way. But then the divorce was so angry from her, and so she's like scorched earth policy. She literally called every network president and said, "Again, you work with him, you don't work with me." So everybody in town between April '94 and July '94 said, this guy will never work again. He rode her coattails. He has no talent. And then the movie True Lies came out in July of '94. And then that changed everything because they went, oh, wait, he's good in that movie. And it's a big hit movie. And Jim Cameron cast him. He's in there with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So maybe now we can't say he has no talent. So that changed everything. But I was filming that movie during the last year of the marriage. And things were rocky in the marriage, and Roseanne was calling Jim Cameron and saying, Tom's off this movie. He's up because it went on longer. A Jim Cameron movie goes on longer. I want him home, whatever. And but Jim Cameron kept saying, just hold on. Everything's going to be fine. And even during the divorce, he said, don't worry about what these people are saying. July 14th, they're not going to say anymore. And you want to believe stuff that people say, but I've been around too long to believe them. Or the good or the bad 100%, and then, but this is one of those rare times where it was every bit as good as they said. And it was thank God, because I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Do you look at yourself as being a survivor or just horribly misunderstood?
Well, I don't know that I'm misunderstood. I mean, it's funny because, that's a hard thing to say what people think. People are 99% are super nice to me and kind. And, I come here on the airplane or at the airport, wherever I go, people are genuinely nice. It's funny because I'll see things like on Twitter and someone will tweet, how is Tom Arnold a celebrity? And I'll read that and I'll laugh and I'll think, well, for one thing, the fact that you can tweet how is Tom Arnold a celebrity and people know who you're talking about indicates that, or the fact that you knew it, you're going out of your way to tweet about me. And a lot of people do this, but it makes me laugh because you never know where that comes from. And it doesn't, after all this time, it certainly doesn't hurt my feelings. Yeah. And it's part of being public. People are going to like you. People are going to not. And there's a lot of people that are ambivalent about me. I don't think there's as many as there used to be, but whatever. And that's why I come to this comedy club, Comedy Zone, because they're there. Everybody there. They paid to get in there. They come to see me, and I'm going to bust my butt to make sure they have a good show no matter what, because I appreciate them. And so we'll do. And after the show, I'll stay around and take pictures with the whole crowd, because you don't get to do that on a movie. Literally each person, and then we'll have this moment. Because there's a lot of things I talk about during my act, and they'll say, hey, I remember we have this in common. And it could be alcoholism. It could be something or something good, But you have these moments with people that you would never get in Beverly Hills.
Right.
So I relish it. It's hard. The traveling's hard. Like I say, I haven't slept yet, but it's but I love it. I'll sleep before the shows today.
Is there as much plastic surgery out here in the real world compared to Beverly Hills?
No. Have you had it?
No.
You haven't even had Botox? Because you got a very shiny young face.
It's called Bojangles.
You dye your hair, though.
No, I don't.
No, you swear to God?
I swear to God, I don't.
Wow. You've had transplants, though?
No.
I
swear. Don't do that. I swear.
But you don't get any product in your, darkening product in your hair?
No. The only thing I put in there is to give me some spike. That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 51.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's insane. I got to go rest. Just thinking about it. Are you serious?
Yeah.
There is nothing about you that's 51.
Absolutely.
And I'm not
when
blowing
I wake
smoke.
up, it's like, oh my God.
No, your skin is everything about. I mean, maybe your radio folks out there don't know what you look like, but it's pretty shocking. It's shocking. No, they get a lot of work out there. And the thing that the older actors, the Clint Eastwood and stuff, they'll do their eyes now.
Oh, right.
Before, the real tough actors wouldn't do anything because you don't want to mess up your face. But that's the thing that's going around. People are talking about doing, their eyes. Wow. Which is so weird.
You're a common man, very common background. Are you the reincarnation of Elvis Presley?
Well, now I'll tell you, the moment he died, I was working at Kenny's Shoes in Ottumwa, Iowa, on the mall there in, 1977?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I remember that very moment, and I did feel something. So I don't know if I got it, but I do feel a kinship to that guy because he was overweight at the end and a drug addict. So and he was a great singer like I am. So no, I feel Elvis is so funny because we, especially as some older folks, there is something so beloved about that guy, his success and his failings and everything about him. But I tell you, these young guys, when they see his '68 comeback special or they see him on stage doing his thing, none of these hip hop guys can compete with that, and they really respect him. Black kids, white kids, they see that guy and they go, "Oh, that's a rock star." I don't know what we are now. But that dude had it going on. So, because people like to say, "Well, he died in his bathroom." He died. They like to take this bad moment and make that an indictment of his whole life. When in fact it was quite the opposite. Wow. Well, I don't know why I'm speaking about Elvis.
Yeah.
I love Elvis.
I like it that you took a red eye here because man, you're just so open.
I had
really
some unsweetened tea. Yeah.
You had unsweetened. You're in the South, dude. You got to have sweetened tea.
No, but I'm not. Sugar or bread I haven't had for 4 months.
Really? And the reason?
Because I got so fat. I weighed 287, and I've lost over 40 pounds. Well, my baby, since my baby was born 4 months ago, I said, "Oh, I got to get it together for this kid because I'm 54, and I can't be super fat 54." But also, my wife, I gained 40-some pounds during the pregnancy because my wife never lets bad food get into the house, right? Like literally, she's like a Nazi about that. And so she gets pregnant, and then it's game on. She's like, "Do you want French toast? It's 2 a.m. I go, "Hell yeah, I want French toast at 2 a.m. In fact, you don't even have to ask. I always want French toast at 2. Think about that. And I'm eating with my wife who never eats with me, and she'll take 2 bites of hers, and I'll have to eat mine and hers because I don't throw food away. I'm from Ottumwa, Iowa. I worked at a meat packing plant 3 years. I'm a farmer. I'm not throwing food away.
Plus, your parents probably told you there's Chinese kids that are probably going hungry because you're going to throw the
Absolutely.
food away. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. My parents, because they're 7, I'm the oldest of 7, we had locks on the cabinets for food. You couldn't get in the fridge. The fridge had a lock on it. Because my brothers and I had 4 younger brothers. We'd stand in front of the fridge and chug a gallon of milk. If we get in the cabinets, we'd eat everything. And finally, they're like, that's it. And there was, a lot of corporal punishment involved if you got into food between noon and 5. We ate at noon and 5. And that's it. There's no snacking in this family. If you want to snack, go mow somebody's yard. That's $2.
Were you a superhero at all when you were growing up?
I don't, the only thing that was unusual was I liked, my grandmother was in the Ottumwa Community Players, and she was sort of an actor, small town actress, and I loved that. I grew up, I didn't have a mother, so my grandmother was very important to me. So, I have a picture of myself that I may be able to show you here, not that it'll help your fans out there, but, this is, that was a different thing, deciding, hey, I want to do this thing. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be Superman, I want to be Batman, whatever. And I said, well, I want to be one of these actors. I don't know how you get out of Ottumwa, Iowa, and become that or a comedian, but I sure like that. And so, I think that's the way. But I tell you, when I was at school, wasn't the most popular kid, pretty mouthy. In our small town, man, the older kids, the older boys would be, just the gauntlet of walking to school past the older boys in our neighborhood, just horrible. And at one point I said, I'm going to get my teeth knocked out, which I did. I'm going to be beat up every day unless I figure out something else. So I all of a sudden in class, I started making inappropriate jokes, and inappropriate for 4th or 5th graders, not filthy or anything. And these older kids laughed. Like, hey, funny. And I thought, oh, that's going to be my thing. I'm going to try to be funny and make these guys laugh so they don't kill me.
And you never thought about being that disc jockey on the radio?
Well, I thought about that. Before. I thought about having a show. It's been tough. Yeah. I filled in for somebody in Chicago to see if I could do it. It's hard work, as you know. But you probably don't
even know.
Dude,
we just sit around and eat listener food. That's all
That's
we do.
me when I was 4 and I was in The King and I with my grandma. That was a big... And the reason I'm an actor is because after that play, The King and I played one of the kids. The woman that played Anna, the teacher, beautiful woman from our town. One who's so beautiful. She had all her makeup on it. She came. I said, would you sign my program? And she kissed me on top of the head. And, you don't have a mother growing up. And this beautiful woman dressed as Anna from, King and I kisses you on top of the head. I said, wow, is that what you get when you're an actor? Because I want that all the time. And it really stuck with me. You don't really get that, but you get something like that occasionally.
Can the mayor of San Diego use that line right now? Is that what you get for being
These
mayor?
That guy is so... the arrogance and of him and the wiener guy to not gap out is so crazy. And, and the guys, and A-Rod is, he's busted, but they don't do. But these guys in politics, they have that is not just no shame. I think they have a mental illness.
Yeah.
Their egos, and all those guys' egos, Arnold's ego's big, all these guys' are egos big. But this is beyond that. This is insanity, that sociopathic insanity where it's right in front of your face, everything, and you're looking over the other way.
It's like the blind gorilla. I mean,
yeah.
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen to me. And while it's happening, still not happening
to
me.
Right, exactly.
So, have you ever been in a moment like that where you just go, that's not me?
Well, about something I've done?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a lot. I mean, I cringe at night about a lot of things I've done, but you have to stop doing that at some point if you want to sleep.
Right.
And there's things, I'll even on a daily basis, I'll think, how did that go today? Whatever. And then I'm like, oh, no. Did I embarrass myself? I'm afraid to watch things I do on movies or TV shows because I'm like, oh, my God, it's so embarrassing. First of all I can see is how fat I am. I look straight at my chin and go, oh, my God, that is disgusting. So, but you got to get over that. I had to grow up because self-hate is just as bad as having too much self-esteem and being sociopathic like those guys with their egos. So it's a yin and it's self-effacing is fine. Yeah. And I feel like I'm that way, and especially in my act. But then self-loathing is just as sick as the opposite side of that.
That's right. Tom Arnold.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Tom
Arnold.
Thank you
so much, man.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. 51, man.